Welcome back to Smartphone Wars.
Hi guys, this is Stephen Fox again. Huawei made a big splash this year with the P10 as they did with the P9 last year, packing dual cams, the latest Kirin chipset. But what about its little brother, the P10 Lite? What do you actually sacrifice when you're getting the Lite version? And should you buy it as a good alternative to the P10? And I have here a P10 Lite to test for you. So, is it really worth buying the Lite version just because of the price difference? And what exactly will you be sacrificing for that Lite tag? One thing is for sure, Huawei definitely didn't go light on the software features. The Huawei P10 Lite is running the same EMUI 5 and Android 7.0 straight out of the box, and it runs just as good as on the P10.
You do get all the software features from the P10 and the latest Android Nougat available with split screen multitasking with the P10 Lite, and there really isn't anything missing here. One can even say that there's no compromise made with the display, since this one is actually very nice, an IPS screen, full HD, and you can definitely still switch between an app drawer and no app drawer, as is with all Nougat devices. And Huawei has actually gained a lot of popularity by implementing this feature, which was very sought after from the Western market. I myself personally prefer no app drawer, but I know it's not the same with you. And I'll just switch it back to what I'm used to. Huawei do have a great theme store with plenty of customization options and wallpapers available. And the first major difference here is that the fingerprint scanner is on the back rather than on the front, but it's just as fast and it's still multifunctional. So this is actually a fair trade-off. I don't know if it was cheaper for Huawei to put it this way, or just wanted to differentiate between both devices, so you would actually know which one is which when you first look at them. The software features includes always on mobile data, NFC of course is supported here, voice over LTE as well. And you do get a great reading mode which is called Eye Comfort by Huawei, which you can adjust and schedule. And since the display is very good, you will find reading on this device very comfortable and pleasing to the eye. And you can also tinker with the color temperature and the keys for the navigation, and you can customize the navigation on the fingerprint scanner as well. I just use it to open the notification panel and to switch between photos in my gallery. You can do that, other things with it of course, but the main difference remains that with a front fingerprint scanner you can disable the on-screen navigation keys and use it solely for navigation, and here you have to rely on the on-screen keys all the time.
What's the big difference between the Kirin 960 and the 658, since you're seeing probably octa-core and Mali graphics? Well, the big difference
is actually with the CPU and GPU performance numbers. This is running high silicon Kirin 658 with 4 GB of RAM, 32 GB of storage. There is also a 64 GB version model as well. The CPU just uses the smaller A53 cores, which are better for efficiency, but still very high clock speeds at 2.4 GHz, deliver great CPU performance. The camera is 12 megapixel without OIS or any kind of stabilization at all. The front-facing camera is 8 megapixels, and of course this uses Mali T830 dual-core GPU. And this is the huge difference between both chips, actually the gaming performance, which I'll talk a bit later on, and of course you do get all the sensors you need. Now a bit more about the battery life here. The Huawei P10 Lite will definitely last you around 6-7 hours of screen on time if you don't run any benchmarks on it. And as you can see, performance wise, the CPU is definitely better than Snapdragon 625. It's marginally better, but still a faster chip when it comes to CPU, and storage core is amazing on the mid-range device, up there with the best in the Android business, so no compromises with the storage speed. I have run plenty of benchmarks and taken around 200 photos and lots of videos, so that's why my screen on time is around 4 hours here, but with regular usage you should be able to get 6, 7, even 8 hours of the device, which again is excellent for a mid-range device.
You definitely won't see any issues with your daily performance as far as CPU goes. Opening and browsing to the web, switching between multiple apps in the background is handled very nicely by the 4 gigs of RAM and the octa-core CPU in the Kirin 658. I would say if I just put the both of them side by side, the difference is very small, and 95% of you won't even notice it. So very good CPU performance.
I'm finally glad to report that Huawei have fixed the memory management issue that they've had with previous chips. When they reloaded too many apps, when you open 4 or 5 apps in the background, it didn't matter how much RAM you had, it would still reload the apps. No such thing here. You can open all your social media and a few tabs on the browser and it will not reload any of those apps. So kudos to Huawei for fixing this issue. I don't know if it was a software, I think it was a hardware issue, mostly with the chip, but the Kirin 658 does not suffer from it. You can see apps open lightning fast as it would any flagship. So your daily experience, which is 95 or 99% of you out there really care about, is stunning and great, and you won't find any difference between this and any flagship on the market, except maybe the ultra expensive Snapdragon 835 variants of the Samsung S8. This is a very fast little chip that runs very cool under pressure, and it's very well built, especially for browsing and watching videos. Doesn't take any toll on the battery life. This is the third iteration, I believe, of the mid-range 650, and it's been overclocked. That's why it's the 658. Both GPU and CPU have been overclocked to achieve these speeds, and in reality, if you game for longer periods of time, because this is a glass phone, it will get a little bit warm, even hot, so I wouldn't recommend long gaming sessions on this device, but I'll tell you more about gaming now.
Here, Huawei in the Kirin 658, they've chosen to go for a smaller GPU for better power consumption, and the Mali T830 2-core variant which they used in there is still quite capable for some medium and even some high-end 3D games. However, the best looking games on the Android market will definitely not cut it here, and this device does not handle the heaviest games in Full HD very well.
The GPU here is very picky with its games and performance. Good looking games such as Need for Speed No Limits run absolutely fine on the highest settings with no frame drops, really good graphics, and some shooters even which are very demanding, like Deathhead, which I'm playing here. Experience very rare frame drops, and you can see all the graphics fidelity is there, effects are great. However, when it comes to the big guns, you definitely have to lower your settings. Here I am playing Lineage 2 Revolution, and the Kirin 658 definitely struggles with this game. Even in lower graphic settings, there's plenty of frame drops, and frame rate in general is very low. This is not even on the highest settings, just the resolution is up to Full HD. So there is an option in the phone to lower the resolution to 720p, and I suggest if you're an avid gamer, use this option to lower the resolution from the battery menu, as you won't find that much difference in graphics and general, but games will run much smoother. If not, and you still want to do full HD, the best looking games on Android like Killshot here will run just like this on the highest graphical settings, which are definitely unplayable. So this little chip here, full HD, is a bit too big of a bite for it.
And now I'll try to answer the question you've all been waiting for. Is 2 cams really 2 times better than 1? The answer is a bit more complicated than that. Let me elaborate on it.
Huawei P10 Lite uses the same sensor as the P10, but just a single sensor rather than the dual one. And in good lighting conditions, pictures are absolutely fine and great. You do get all the modes you would normally get with the P10, so no compromise here. And in good conditions, photos look, I think, absolutely the same without any problem with details. However, as light goes down, you definitely see a difference in using dual cams because of the monochrome sensor's better ability to capture more light in images. But you see here, my good lighting condition shots are stunning, and I would say it's definitely no difference between the P10 and the P10 Lite in good lighting conditions, except maybe the little bit slower shutter speed due to the slower CPU chip inside. And of course, low light photos do look softer to get more details, but there's a fix to that.
If you really want to take advantage of Huawei P10 Lite's camera in low light conditions, I definitely recommend you switching to the manual mode. The difference is huge.
If you want to get a good shot in low light, definitely try the Pro mode. With a little bit of tinkering, you'll definitely see much better results. As I'm showing here, these are just auto mode and a few seconds of adjusting the manual mode, and the results are vastly different and much better quality, especially on the snapshot. This is taken in absolutely no light. And the saving grace of the P10 Lite is its front camera, which is by far one of the best ones I've ever tested on any phone. Especially with the portrait mode, you do get professional looking selfies, and even the beauty mode on the highest settings is still very subtle and does not make you look like a doll or anything. It is a bit artificial, but I've seen much worse. So if you're around 4 or 5 beauty level, you will get very good enhancement on your face and it will not look unnatural at all. Just see, I've taken tremendously great selfies with this phone. This is one of the best selfie cameras you can get on the market at any price. Even low light shots look great. Unfortunately, I cannot say this about the video quality, which is again Huawei's absolute Achilles heel, as the Full HD in perfect light conditions is okay, but it's still no optical stabilization, and for this amount of money, for me this is barely acceptable. Slow motion and time-lapse are laughable. Time-lapse is only 720p, while slow motion at 120 fps is just 480p, and the results are a joke, and you can't even view them on your PC. You can only slow time down on your phone, and Pro Video mode doesn't produce better results with the image quality in videos.
If it was up to me, would I buy this device for around $350 for which it is selling? No, I would not. Since I think there's far better devices than this when it comes to performance and cameras at the same time, especially when it comes to video quality, since this is definitely not the best chip for taking videos. But is the Huawei P10 Lite a bad device? No. It's actually a very stylish, very good device. And if you want to take this and you're definitely not concerned about the money, you want to get a Huawei, but the P10 is just a bit too further out of your reach. The P10 Lite is a very, very good option thanks to its great battery life. Absolutely the same user experience you get with software. It's a very good phone. It's actually a very, very good phone, and it feels very premium when you hold it. However, it just falls short for me when it comes to performance and cameras, especially in video quality. And I think this is the main reason that I can't definitely recommend you getting one unless you really want one. That's it. Our P10 Lite review is over. I hope I've helped you into picking or not picking a P10 Lite, since that's what I aim to do here. Give the thumbs up to the video if you like it, and subscribe to my channel, and definitely hit that bell icon to get notifications whenever I upload a video if you like what I'm doing. And I'll see you next time.
Stick around.